Okay, good day, class. So our lecture for today is about non-homogeneous linear DE with constant coefficients. Okay, so we're going to be discussing just for this lecture about method of undetermined coefficients. So actually there are two methods. Um, and second is the variation of parameters. I think I'll just discuss this after our first quiz for the final term. So para medyo ma-absorb sa ninyo gamay ang gatong first lecture natin sa finals, which is getting the characteristic equation and the roots of that equation, no? To get the complementary and then kining method of undetermined coefficients. Okay, so just a little review. We have the standard form of a non-homogeneous linear DE with constant coefficients. When you say constant coefficients, so kaning mga nakamultiply sa y prime, no, kanang a sub 0, a sub 1 until a sub n are all constants. So instead of function of x nga with variable x good siya, constant na lang siya. So it's easier to solve. And then our q of x here, for homogeneous, remember that this is equal to 0. Okay? But since we're dealing with non-homogeneous, of course, ang q of x nato ana will be non-zero. So it could be a constant or it could be something with a variable x. Basta x lang siya. Okay. And recall in our midterm that the general solution for non-homogeneous linear DE class is given by this. Okay. Y is the sum of the complementary solution in the particular solution. So, I hope naka-idea na mo no, sa itong previous discussion about homogeneous linear DE. Nga nag-solve to complementary dito. And that is actually very useful in solving for the non-homogeneous linear DE. All right, so what we're gonna do, class, in this method of undetermined coefficients, magamit gyapon nato atong knowledge atong roots of the characteristic equation and katong three cases na to, no? So remember that the solution that we are solving for homogeneous is called the complementary solution. Okay? And the solution for the non-homogeneous, remember, is the sum of the complementary and the particular. So meaning, class, kung naaday tayo non-homogeneous linear DE, pwede na tayo mag-solve sa complementary, no? Pwede na to malet ang q of x is equal to 0 so that we can solve for the complementary. And then, next process, which is kining method of undetermined coefficients, kuha na to ang y sub p or the particular. Then we add the solution. Mauna din natong general solution for the non-homogeneous. So, recall sa mga gamay sa itong differential operator. Nag-solve ta ang atong na-achieve nga y class or the solution, if you can recall, hopefully you can recall, is the combination of the particular and the complementary. Di ba gipa-identify ta mo sa inyong solution kung asa ang complementary ug asa ang particular. And remember, ang complementary is katong na mga arbitrary constant. Ang particular is katong walay arbitrary constant. Define ang iyang mga constants. Mo to siya ang particular solution. Okay? I hope you can recall. So, ato ring buhaton, class, is again, for the non-homogeneous is sayo na day kay siya dili na ta magig differential operator. Pero gamito na to atong knowledge sa pag-YC, which is the roots of the characteristic equation. And then, I'll introduce to you the method of undetermined coefficients to get the YP. And again, we add that. That would be the general solution. Okay? So, this is, kining duha ka example diri, class, is actually your assignment 3 and quiz 3. Para lang gina-compare na to ba? Kung same bang answer to makuha. So, hopefully, nagtanaw mo sa inyong solution anina. So, I encourage nga magtanaw mo sa solution sa tuang assignment 3. Mao na tong assignment 3 kini siya. And then our quiz 3 is kini. So tag-ask mo solution anino for the differential operator kay taas kay siya gabalik-balik man mag-solve for the first order linear DE. And then integrate blah blah blah. So tan-aw na to diri karon unsa ka mubo ang steps ana. So di na ako mag-solve balik using differential operator. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write the solution that we have solved, class. para ma-compare na to. Para medyo ma-refresh pag gamay yung mind. And then the answer ni class is y is equal to 5x minus 6, over 6 minus 43 over 50. Sorry, 36 din na siya. Plus C1 e to the negative 2x plus C2 e to the negative 3x. Okay? And then, ipa-identify ta mo as ang YC, kani siya ang YC no kanang na arbitrary constant C1, C2. And then, the remaining should be our particular solution. Alright? Dala lang sana siya. Next, for this quiz number 3 ninyo, ang answer ani is y is equal to sine x over 10 minus 3 cosine x over 10 plus, I'm just gonna rewrite ang 10, plus C1 e to the negative x plus C2 e to the negative 2x. Okay, and again, identify na itong YC mo ni siya, complementary, and then this is the particular. Alright, so, muna ni siya yung solution, so, muna ni yung answer, atong i-try solve class. Alright, so na siya note diri ha. For the method of undetermined coefficients class, if we're given a non-homogeneous linear DE, ang atong buhaton, as I've mentioned, magkuha tag YC, di ba? Complementary. Now, when getting the YP class, naman gutay is-set nga guess nato nga particular solution, no? Nga the same form sa tong Q of X. Okay? Pero natay dapat i-take note, ana. We should be looking at the YC nga itong ma-solve. And then, we should make sure that the YP must not contain the same term sa atong YC. Kaya di ba, when we solve for the solution of a linear differential equation, so far, nakita nato nga dili nato ma-adapt pat ang yang mga terms. Okay? So, YP must have, again, a different term as opposed to YC. Nasad ko example na later. So, na to kung the same term siya. Okay? I think it doesn't make sense yet sa kaning nga point na sa itong discussion. But, sige, mag-solve na lang ta. Okay, so, balik tayo sa itong assignment 3, y double prime plus 5y prime plus 6y is equal to 5x minus 3. Atong buhaton, I'm just gonna copy this para i-side by side na to compare class kung makakuha ba ta og the same answer using our new method, no? So, okay, I'm just gonna put that there. Okay. Let's solve class using the method of undetermined coefficients. So, what we're gonna do first is, again, we solve for y sub c, or the complementary solution. No? Solve for yc. Okay. So, when we solve for yc, again, we must let the q of x be equal to 0. Himuon sa nato siyang homogeneous class. So, that is y double prime plus 5y prime plus 6y is equal to 0. This we know, diba, from the previous discussion. So, the characteristic equation would be m squared plus 5m plus 6 is equal to 0. Then we factor, that is m plus 2, m plus 3 is equal to 0. Okay, so the roots would be negative 2 and negative 3, right? So our complementary solution class is equal to y sub c, c1 e to the negative 2x plus c2 e to the negative 3x. Okay, muna na. And, actually, obvious na gani kayo that we really got the same YC here. Okay? Katuman ko sa differential operator, dili siya mo-obvious, no? But the y that we get sa pinaka last part is muna to siya ang final answer nato. Dire gibuak-buak nato siya class. Shortcut mo siya subok-buak ko nato siya. Okay? So again, we already see that there is indeed the same expression for the YC, no? Okay, so sa'yo na day kay siya class. Inyong nakita nga sa non-homogeneous linear DEDI, ang part sa iyang general solution, which is the complementary, is the solution sa imong homogeneous. Meaning, pwede ni mo himuong homogeneous sa temporarily imong non-homo to get the part of your solution that is the complementary. Okay? So, ang nabili na lang class is ang y sub p. So, na ito pag-solve mo na din siya ang method of undetermined coefficient. So, we solve here for y sub p. So, tanaw na to class ang atong q of x. That is 5x minus 3. So, what we're gonna do here, we're gonna guess a little bit, pero base yan, natay basis atong guess sa yp. Yp should be the same form with the q of x. Okay? And q of x here, as you can see, is a linear form, 5x minus 3. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we let yp as ax plus b, the same form sa ato ang q of x. Alright? Where a and b are both constants, no? Arbitrary constants lang sa. Now, we are going to solve para makakuha tag particular. Okay? And then the next step nato class would be, we should get the highest order derivative of yp based sa atong differential equation. Now, our differential equation is until the second derivative, di ba, kay y double prime man siya. Okay, kini ba? Kana nga to ang differential equation. And its order is second order. So, our highest order derivative is the second derivative. Kana po tama na itong kaon sa yp class. Alright? So, we get yp prime, the first derivative of yp, that is equal to a. Okay? And then getting the second derivative, of course, the derivative of constant is 0. So, 0 lang na siya. And then next, nakakuha naman ta until the second derivative or the highest order derivative niya. Ato na siyang i-plug in dito sa ato ang original nga differential equation. So, I'm just gonna copy that. That is y double prime plus 5y prime plus 6y is equal to 5x minus 3. And then, atong i-substitute, atong gi-solve diri class nga, yp prime o yp double prime. Diri sa ato ang differential equation. Now, nasa explanation anak class, nga nung pwede na to na buhaton. Okay, so I think makover na ko na later. Pero, again, na siya basis. Nga nung pwede na to na siya ma-plug in dira. Okay, so ato siyang i-substitute class. That would be, ang y double prime na to is kaning yp double prime. That is 0 plus 5. Yp prime na to class is a. Okay, plus 6. Ang y na to is muna tong yp. Okay, ax plus b. 5x minus 3. Okay, ato din i-group class, asa ang mga constants, asa ang nga na ay x. Okay, so that is 5a. Ato sa ning pang simplify diri, we have 6ax plus 6b is equal to 5x minus 3. Okay, actually, at this point, algebra naman na siya class. Ang naay, i-group lang na to ha. Tanang naay x, ato siyang unay sulat. That is 6ax plus tanang constants, itapad dato siya. So that is 5a plus 6b is equal to 5x minus 3. Okay, dili na nato siya equate class. Maghimo tag two equation to unknowns based sa to ang equation dili nga nakita. So that is, highlight to gamay. We have 6a, kinina lang red. 6a class, in order for the left side of the equation to be equal sa tong right side, Dapat equate na to siya. So, tanang na ay x class nga coefficient sa left, it should be equal sa 5. Okay? 6a must be equal to 5. Okay? 6a should be equal to 5. Okay? Kaya ang atong 6ax atong mang equate sa 5x. Okay, mo nang 6a is equal to 5. And then, all the constants class, now 5a plus 6b must be equal to negative 3. Again, para ma-equal atong left and right side of the equation, algebra ra gyapon. So that is 5a plus 6b is equal to negative 3. And actually, we have two equations, two unknowns. Masolve na to ang value sa a and b. But, very obvious from our first equation nga 6a is equal to 5, we can already have the value of a, which is 5 over 6. Okay? And then, substituting that, ako ikuan kay algebra naman na siya. Substituting a nga 5 over 6, there is a second equation nato. We can get a b value that is equal to negative 43 over 36. Right? We have the value of a and b na dayon. And atong buhaton class, ato na siyang i-plug in diri sa ato ang gi-assume nga yp. Okay? So yp must be equal to ax plus b man. Atong a is 5 over 6. So that is 5x over 6. And then atong b is negative 43 over 36. That is minus 43 over 36. Okay, that is our yp. And let's take a look at the answer nato here, class. Right? So we have the same answer, actually. So, atong yp diri, class, is indeed equal sa atong yp. Diri sa to ang na-solve during the midterms atong differential operator. Okay? Now, we get yc and yp already. Meaning, ang ato jud ang general solution, class, for this non-homogeneous linear DE is the sum of the complementary and the particular. Okay? So, gi-check lang na nato kung pareha ba, and indeed, it's the same. Pwede ra yc yung una isulat, pwede ra sa yp. Okay? Pareha ra na siya. So, para maparehas lang ta diri, class, well, narana sa inyo, again, sa inyo una, pero, since YC man ako una gi-solve, YC na pa ako una isulat. No? Okay, so that is, duha ka term, and then we also have duha ka term diri sa itong YP. Plus, this is now our general solution. Okay? So, easy ra jud siya, class, actually. Ang tricky lang apart is assuming the form of YP. Kana lang ang medyo tricky. Okay? So, let's move on to our second example. This is your quiz number 3. So, same akong buhaton. I'm gonna copy this one. Copy, and then sige. Let's solve for YC yapon. Compare lang na to, class. Okay, solving for YC again, we let Q of X is equal to 0 so that we can get the roots for the homogeneous. So that is y double prime plus 3y prime plus 2y is equal to 0. And the characteristic equation will be m squared plus 3m plus 2 is equal to 0. Okay. So we have the factors m plus 1, m plus 2 is equal to 0. So we'll get the roots, class, ng negative 1 and then negative 2. Alright, so we have the complementary solution that is equal to C1 e to the negative x plus C2 e to the negative 2x. Again, that is equal to your YC. Okay? Alright, solve for YP. Kini ang medyo tricky. Okay? So we have the sine x here. Katumugod ganina, class. we have a linear form nga 5x minus 3. So, it's very straightforward imong YP. Here, our Q of x class is sine x. Okay? Unsa kaha nga YP atong iset. Pwede ka makaingon, ako ang siguro na ma'am, A sine x. Okay? An arbitrary constant times sine x because it will have the same form sa imuhang Q of x. Now, the problem here is, medyo masayop na kadiri. Masayop na ka. Nga naman, you need to set the YP class. Balik ta sa itong definition. Pero, YP di ay should be a linear combination of the terms in Q of x. Yes. And its linearly independent derivatives. Meaning di ay, aside from the same form ang imuhang iset sa imong YP in terms ng Q of x, dapat di ay apilan nimo siya derivative niya. Okay? Nganong kaganing na ma'am, nganong walang ta nag-apil og derivative? Actually, i-apil na to siya. Sa tong ax plus b manggod class, ang derivative niya is a constant, di ba? Derivative of a linear equation is a constant. Now, kung mag-add pa kitag certain constant, example, ax plus b, tandere no, ma'am, nabi siya isa ka derivative which is ang certain value of constant, di ba? Butan na natog c. Okay? Pero kini mo siya class, makombine mo ni siya into one constant. So, meaning, ax plus bdi or ax plus a constant, mo cover niya ang definition. So, wala gyapon tayo sa yup, ana. Here in our sin x, kung mag-set na tag a sin x class, ganun masayop ta, wala mo na to include ang iyahang derivative. A derivative of sin x is cosine x. There must be a term, therefore, nga na ay cosine x. Okay? But, nana siya something constant nga wala ta kabalo. Okay? So, we set sin x. Ang ihang YP di ana is kuan class a sin x plus b cosine x. Pwede ra gyapon na. Don't get me wrong ha. Pwede ka wala ko ka dyan. Okay. Ang point lang is i-include nimo ang iyahang derivative. That means kung imong Q of x day class, okay, kung na may question nga, ma'am, what if ang Q of x ma'am kay cosine x? Pwede lang yapon. Ang imong YP ana is the same. Pwede ka mag A cosine x, pwede sa A sin x plus B sin x. Nyamin ka, alam ma'am, negative man ang derivative sa cosine x, di ba negative sign? Pwede lang yapon. Pwede lang ka mag-assume nga positive B na mo, gawas lang siyang negative later. Okay, mura na gunag sa itong mga assumption during application class. Anything that we should assume, basta consistent lang ta, magawas ra yung true value ana as we go along. Okay, so don't worry, nakoy table na later kung unsay dapat inyong guess or gamiton ninyo nga YP. Okay, so nanatay YP no nga a sin x plus b cosine x. So, what we're gonna do is, since second order man ni atong linear DE class, parehas ka ganina, ato lagi apong kaon niyang first derivative and second derivative, no? Para ma-plug in nato dito. So, YP prime is equal to, that is a cosine x, okay, minus b sin x. Diri na atong, tinuod na gid ang atong pagkuha nato diri sa, ato na consider ang sin niya class, no? Kaya kuha naman tag first derivative. Base atong gi-assume. Okay? YP double prime, or the derivative aning first derivative. So that is negative a sin x. Minus, since positive man ang imuhang ang derivative sa imong sin x na positive cosine, ma-retain na ng negative b ni mo dira. Okay? So we already have until the second derivative. So itong buhatong class, ato na siyang substitute sa itong original equation. So, kung butang nila. Okay? So, atong y double prime, kay kini. Okay, we have negative a sin x minus b cosine x, no? Plus 3y prime. So, plus 3 times a cosine x, kanang first derivative, minus b sine x, right? Plus 2, imong y is, or y prime, a sine x plus b cosine x is equal to sine x. Alright. I-group na to tanan karon class. Ang tanang sine, i-group sa na to tanang cosine. Okay, so sa tanang sine, kani siya. Kana negative a sine x, b sine x, o pag-distribute naman, distribute naman natin 2. Okay. So, ito na lang siyang diretsyo sulat ha. That is negative a, tanang sine x niya, minus. So, don't forget the negative. Naman ko kay kuan din negative. Oh. Negative b na siya. Pero i-times pa na ni mo 3. So, that is negative 3b. Okay. Plus 2a. Kaning sa third ni mo. Okay. Muna mo ang group sa sine x. Karon i-grupo sila ito ng cosine. So, that is kani negative b. Next, we have kaning a cosine x, pero matimesan pa siya og 3. So, that is plus 3a. And then, the last one is, don't forget, good, ang 2 dira, multiply pa na sa b cosine x. So, that is plus 2b cosine x. Okay, equals sine x. And then, that's the time we must create 2 equations, 2 unknowns. Pwede pa gali ni ma-simplify ang A og mga B ma-combine. Later, i-combine na to diretso ha. For our first group class nga, sine x, that should be equal to 1, di ba? Because the coefficient of sine here is 1. And then, we have an imaginary here nga, 0 cosine x, para makita yun ninyo. Okay? That means, tanan di ang nasa sulod sa quantity na multiplied sa imong x, it should be equal to 1 para ma-equal ang left of right side. And then, kani siya should be equal to 0. Okay, balik ha, kani siya nga quantity should be equal to 1. And then, kani siya nga quantity should be equal to 0. So that the left and the right side must be equal. So, we created 2 equations, no? So, kaning first nga, negative a minus 3b plus 2a. Ato na lang combine ng a niya dira. That is actually positive a minus 3b is equal to 1. Okay. The second equation, we have, we have 3a. Combine na tong b, mahimo na siyang plus b na lang is equal to 0. Okay, kanang sa cosine mo. Okay, we can get here class, sa atong second equation palang daan, we can already get a value, a relationship between b and a, no nga. B is equal to negative 3a. And then from that, pwede na ito ma-substitute sa itong first equation. So that is a minus 3 times negative 3a. Muna na itong value sa b. Okay? So we can get here an a that is, diretso na lang taha, that is a plus 9, 10. A plus 9a is 10. So that is 1 over 10. Alright, and then from the b na to, kanisha, we can get a b value that is negative 3 over 10. Right, so we already have the value for a and b. Therefore, pwede na to siya ma-substitute sa atuang yp class. So yp must be equal to a man, a sine x, meaning 1 over 10 sine x or sine x over 10. Then we have a b that is negative 3 over 10. That is minus 3 cosine x over 10. And that is actually equal to our yp here. Nga nakuha during the differential operator, no? So this one is equal to this. And yp is equal to our yp. Okay? So based on method of undetermined coefficients, Na-confirm na to nga same gid siya class. So our y here must be yc and yp, that is c1 e to the negative x plus c2 e to the negative 2x plus mag-anad gyud tag rewrite class after solving for yc and yp no kay. Kani maguna naman tayo answer daan pero in the following example wala naman. So we have sine x over 10 minus 3 cosine x over 10. Kapag ko yoyo. Okay, so muna to y. Now, muna ni siya class ato ang method of undetermined coefficients nga choice for yp. Muna akong giingon nga if you have something like e to the exponential nga equation no nga nakay constant nga k, okay, k dire e to the gamma x or whatever yung exponent ana. Sununin mo ang e to the gamma x or katong yun niya equation and then multiply nimo at dili na siya same nga kuan na same nga constant basta unknown na siya nga constant. Okay? Kung ingani pud daw siya nga form class na nga naka x to the n, ang imong buhaton ana is x to the n, okay, plus another constant, arbitrary constant times x to the n minus 1. Okay? Meaning, kung naday kay q of x, q ni siya sa lahi mo ni siya nga book. Kung naday kay q of x nga equal to x squared, ang imo rin buhaton ana class is imong yp ana is ax squared. Dili lang ka dira mag-stop. Kay apil pa man ang imuhang kuan class. Apil pa man imong derivative. Ang derivative sa x squared is 2x, meaning na siya x. Okay? So, magbutang pa kag bx. Muna siyang naana siya diri until x, until pag mag-plus pa kag isa ka constant niya. Okay, ang derivative man po anang bx is a constant. Okay? So, basta, ingani siya kuan class, dagway. Okay? So, kung naa po kay cosine og sine, di ba, giparehas na niya, pareha lagi po siya. Lahi lang siya notation. Akong gigamit AB, kuan mo siya, mas pleasing siya sa mata class. Kini kay KM, di kinato bet. Pero, ingani na iyahag yung, kuan no, iyahang rule. Lison lang ko na. So, example, sa ito ang cosine sine na, kung naasad tay cosine 2x, nga q of x ato po di ay yp ana class base aning choice for yp nga table is actually a cosine 2x. Okay, base ani ba apilang ginan nimong 2 dira sa 2x no, dili ka pwede ang yp nimo kay cosine x unya imong q of x kay cosine 2x, parehang gid nimo siya class nya mag-plus din kag another constant na pod times sine omega x. So mag-b ka sine 2x. Ana lang. Okay, mo na siya pasabot ani nga part. Okay. Kung dili po daw class, kung gigiven po daw ka ani, sino kayo kung naa kay q of x here nga e to the, for example lang, e to the 2x unya na kay cosine 3x. Ang imo dang choice for yp ana is something like this. Na kay e to the 2x, mangutan na ka, ma'am nganong wala na may constant diri sa e to the 2x. Pwede ka magbutang og constant kaso makombine naman gyud nimo diri gud sa k ug m mo nang giusa na lang niya diri ang constant sa sulod. So we have here a cosine 3x, okay? Parehas siya dagway dapat. Plus b, dito na dayon sine 3x. Kuyugon gyapon nimo ang sine. Alright. Sige. So, muna siya ang nakatable. Napad yung kay more, I would say, more specific example sa mga different forms sa imuhang q of x class. Ingan ni. Okay. Muna siya. Daghan kayo siya, di ba? So, touch lang taga may ani para makita lang ninyo ang pattern ba? Okay. So, we have here, example, ang atong q of x ay constant. Example 1. So atong guess is a constant po. Something that is an unknown constant. Okay? Kung atong q of x class in the form of 5x plus 7, pares mo ni kaganina katong linear. Ang imong form put for y is ax plus b. Kung naka-quadratic siya, hunahunaan na lang na naka-quadratic form po dapat siya. Okay? So it doesn't matter kung 3x squared na siya dira. Kana gyud gyapon imong ibutang ax squared plus bx plus c. Kung naka plus 4x na siya dira, kana ra gyapon imong ibutang. Okay? The idea here is if it is a quadratic equation, maskin pag isa ra na siya ka-term basta quadratic siya, i-kompleto gyud nimo butang na siya. Okay, so next we have sin 4x. Amo na yung example ka ganina. So dapat again ha, pwede na siya ma-interchange. Pwede ka a sin 4x plus b cosine 4x. It doesn't matter. Basta consistent lang yapon. Okay, cosine 4x, same lang yapon na sila ilet. Okay, how about kung e to the 5, sayop niya, wala, dili na siya e to the 5 times x. Typo ni siya class. Nakaana na siya. Okay, sununan ni mo siya class. Sununan ni mo ang e to the 5x basta magbutang na jud kag constant nila. Kung naa kay linear daw class, tapos gi-multiplyan siya og exponential, sunon lang nimo ang linear nga form kani. Nya times and then nimo siya og same nga e to the 5x. Kung quadratic siya, x squared, nya times nimo exponential, ang quadratic, ang yp, imo siyang the same form, no? Kaning ax squared plus bx plus c multiplied by e to the 5x. I guess you get the point already. So, tanawalan na ninyo nga table, no? Kung whatever form inyong q of x, pwede na dayon mo mag-base ani nga table. Okay, let's have an example. I think I have mga 4 to 5 examples or 3 na din. Basta makover lang nato ang kailangan makover para maanad lang mong solve. Okay, we have here y prime minus 5y is equal to e to the 5x. Okay. Para ma-apply na to class, katong definition nga, kasi wala mo kasabot ba? Kung itong pasabot sa yp ni mo nga, dapat wala siya same term sa imong yc. Mo na ni siya nga example class. Okay? So, first we solve for yc. For the complementary. So, ganito, we need to assume q of x is equal to 0. So, ato sa siyang himong homogeneous. So, we have y prime minus 5y is equal to 0. Okay, so that is m minus 5 is equal to 0. So, yun na kayo. We get a root that is equal to 5. Okay? So, sa yun na kayo, itong yc is just equal to c1 e to the 5x. Okay, so diri na class, diri na mo sulod akong giingon nga tan-aw nimo ang form sa imong nakuha nga yc. Para saan ni? Ang imong q of x class is equal to e to the 5x. Okay? And then your yc nga, atong nakuha nga yc is e to the 5x ra gyapon. So remember, masking ganay makakuha ta sa atong auxiliary equation class, roots sa atong auxiliary equation no nga repeating roots, ang atong buhaton di ba magbutang tag x. Ing ana ra gyapon atong buhaton diri class. Since atong q of x class is e to the 5x, it is of the same term sa atong yc. So we cannot assume that our yp is a e to the 5x. Nga naman, kay later on, pag plus na to, makombine man gud na siya class. And we don't want that again, no? Kay dili dapat siya linearly dependent. It should be linearly independent. Okay? So, itong buhaton ani class, para dili siya the same og itsura atong yp ug yc, mag-add x. Okay, ma-apply ra gyapon atong murag atong technique class sa homogeneous diri sa non-homogeneous. So, mag-add lang tag x, no? Although, wala ta nag-break sa atong rule diri sa table, no? Nga, ma'am, ingon ka ma'am, e to the 5x, e to the 5x, good siya. Yes, mo na imong guess, no? Pero, mo-overrule man gud atong definition class. Nga dapat dili siya mapareha og term sa YC. So, i-reason ko ng A dire, dungaga na to nag-X lang class. Isa lang. Okay? So, our assumption for YP now should be AX e to the 5X. Okay, so, atong Y prime class is, by the way, emphasize mo na ko, that is the reason why we solve for YC first. Para tanaw na to, unsay itsura sa YC kay para um, makabalo ko unsa kung i-let nga YP. Right? So, let's have sana to YP prime. Si YP prime. Okay, naman siya x ug e to the 5x. So, product of product rule no sa differentiation. So, copy x and then we have the ano sa tawag ani? Sorry, nagloning ko. Katulog ko ng Google class. The derivative e to the 5x, that is 5 e to the 5x. Okay, plus copy e to the 5x. Derivative din sa x, which is 1. Simplify na to gamay, that is 5a x e to the 5x plus e to the 5x. Okay, now, tama na ta diri sa yp prime class nga naman. Ang ato manggong DE is y prime naman po siya taman. So, walay pulos ka magkuha pa ta og second derivative. Okay, so we have here y prime minus 5y is equal to e to the 5x. Okay, substitute y prime. Muna siyang yp prime, that is 5a x e to the 5x plus e to the 5x minus 5 times y nga ax e to the 5x is equal to e to the 5x. Okay, I think you can clearly see that kini nga term class is the same ani nga term. Okay, and negative ang isa. That means pwede ra na siya ma-cancel. Okay, ma-zero naman na siya later. So, we are left with, sorry class. Kasi na-notice ninyo, ako wala ka notice. Pag substitute mo na, pag distribute na to sa A, dapat na siya A dira, no? So, na siya A dira. Dapita plus A na siya. Okay? Di na siya pwede mag-equal class na. Yun kaya dapat constant dira nga unknown. Okay, so we have, ang nabili na to class ay A e to the 5x is equal to e to the 5x. Meaning, very simple, A must be equal to 1. That means class, dili ni siya all the time nga 1 ni siya, ma-equal na siya. Na timing lang siguro gidani nga differential equation. So, that means atong YP class is based atong gikuan nga AX e to the 5x. 1 naman ang A, so that means x e to the 5x so dahil nga to ang y sub b. So to conclude, atong y is the sum of the complementary and the particular. Wala din na siya, c1 e to the 5x plus x e to the 5x. Okay, so if you check sa Wolfram Alpha class, tanaw lang ninyo, this is the solution sa to ang differential equation. Okay, so balik ta, kung wala man gud mo nag-let og x diri class, ma-plus na nimo later, which is mali na ka. Okay, dili gid mo dapat ma-combine ang imong complementary o particular. Dili gid siya dapat. Sige. So, ay, katulog na mo. Alright, so let's have this example. E to the 5x gyapon. Nindot ni para mas makita gid ninyo unsa gid the effect. Unsaon gid na to atong YP. Okay? So, solve for YC ra gyapon. Start by solving for YC. So, let Q of X is equal to 0. And then, getting the auxiliary equation. Correct. So, I believe the factor would be m minus 5, m minus 5. Okay, so the roots class are repeating. No, real and repeating. So, 5, but kaduhaon siya. So, that means, based atong knowledge sa homogeneous, YC is C1 e to the 5x. Okay? And para dili man nimo siya makombine, butangan nimo x ang isa. E to the 5x. Okay? Now, the question, ma'am, kaganina man good, nakalet pa ta nga P no AX e to the 5x. Kaya isa ram nakaterm yung YC good. But this time around, you have C2X e to the 5x and you still have e to the 5x there sa mong Q of x. So, unsa ka itong ilet ani? Pareha na gyapon class sa ato ang pareha na gyapon sa ato ang pag-solve sa homogeneous. Kung same siya, same roots, mag-add tag x squared, x cubed, until asa pa na taman. Okay, yung ani lagyan pa itong pangaton diri. Since atong q of x is e to the 5x and it is the same term sa ito ang c1 and c2 nga term no, sa itong complementary, then that means ang ato ding ilet nga YP class aside nga e to the 5x siya para dili siya maparehas sa imuhang complementary, para wala siya kaparehas. Instead of x squared na nga itong ibutang. Okay? And then, another constant there. So, taas-taas dito siya. Okay, so, let me see. Medyo lengthy siya. Pero, that's the point. Okay? So, getting the YP prime class. Now, we need to get the second derivative. Kaganina, first derivative. Sa'yo naman kayo ito, no? But this one is second derivative. Okay? So, ipabutang na itong A dira and then we solve for the product of product rule na sa differentiation. Copy x squared. Okay? And then differentiate e to the 5x. That is 5e to the 5x. Be careful sa pag-differentiate. Basta na ma-miss. Plus copy e to the 5x. Then, derivative sa x squared, that is 2x. Simplify lang na to, distribute, para kasi mapares ko gaganina, na-miss na ko ang a. So, we have 5a x squared e to the 5x plus 2a x. Ako lang i-arrange siya. Unahan ako gusulat ng x, e to the 5x. Okay. Medyo taas din siya, class. Y, ako lang ibalhin. Ano lang gamay. And then, our YP prime, the double prime, is equal to 5a. Okay, 5a. Now, ang derivative aning x squared class, e to the 5x. Di ba kani? Kana siya. Yes, kana siya, di ba? So, kay ka naman siya, oh. So, that means, akong buhaton, ako rin i-copy ang nasa sulod. Right? So, that is actually 5x squared e to the 5x plus 2x e to the 5x. Right? Plus 2a and then derivative aning x e to the 5x. So that is copy x, derivative of e to the 5x, that is 5 e to the 5x plus copy e to the 5x, derivative of x, that is 1. Okay, simplify. So, if you need to pause the video or mobalik para masinamoy na miss, you can do so. I'm just gonna simplify here, class. Okay, hinahina na to distribute. So, distribute na ko ni una. Uy, ito. Kani. Okay, that is 25 25a x squared e to the 5x. Next, kani, that is plus 10a x e to the 5x. Let me check. Yes, correct. Plus, distribute ni, that is 5 plus 2, 10, 5 times 2 di 10a x e to the 5x. Plus, lastly, kanina dayon, distribute sa 2a, which is 2 okay, which is 2a e to the 5x. Okay, am I still recording? Yes, I am. All right, and then we need to simplify class. Simplify na to ha. I think makombine na siyang duha. Okay, so just copy that first term plus 20a x e to the 5x plus 2a e to the 5x. Okay, so muna na iyahang second derivative. And then we solve for the man yung masulod eh. Okay. We solve for the value of a na dayon class. Okay, from paki-follow na lang ko. From our differential equation nga y double prime plus 10y prime plus 25y is equal to e to the 5x. Alright, so substitute everything which is ang yp double prime na to class kaning 25. Pwede rin ninyo skip dito sa unahan. Gusto mo. Basta ako mag-solve ko. Plus 2a e to the 5x. Okay, mo na ang y double prime. Plus 10 y prime na din class. Napa ni kaumanan. 5a x squared e to the 5x. Plus 2a x e to the 5x. Okay. Next. Plus 25y. 25y na dayon which is ang a x squared e to the 5x is equal to e to the 5x. Okay. Sige. Next. Itipok na to tanang class. Tanang x squared e to the 5x. Ug tanang x e to the 5x. Ug tanang e to the 5x. So there are three distinct nga mga terms. So ipantipok na to tanan. Okay? So hinahinay na to. Unahon na to tipok tanang term nga na ay x squared e to the 5x. So natay 25a. Okay? So 25a. Unsa pa? Sa next, we have here kaning 5a pero i-times na to 10. Wait lang. Minus 10 din na. Napit ako na sa iyo. That's why. Minus 10 na ha. Minus po na. Okay? So that means, ang atuang next nga term, is negative 50a. Okay, next, we have here kani x squared e to the 5x mangyapon siya. So that is 25a. So plus 25a. Ang kanang nga term is x squared e to the 5x. Okay, next, itipag na to tanang term class ng x e to the 5x. We have 20a kani. Next, we have here kaning 2a pero distribute ang 10. So that is negative 20a. Sa third, wala na. Kaya siya naman ito isa ganina. So, meaning, we have x here, e to the 5x. And then, tanang e to the 5x class, kanara siya. Okay, we have plus 2a e to the 5x is equal to e to the 5x. Now, no need to worry sa kaninga mga terms. Unsa itong i-equate ani? Ano naman? Kay ma-zero naman na siya class. 25a minus 50a plus 25a. That is 0. Kini sa 20a minus 20a, 0 lagi hapon. Okay? So, we are left with kaning duha, 2a e to the 5x. Di ba taas kayo? Pero kanila di ang mabilin. Amazing. Okay? So, we have 2a class that is equal to 1. It should be equal to 1. Okay? So, a must be 1/2. Diba? 1/2 na yung answer. So, take note lang ha, if you solve gani nga imong YP kay mali na imong assumption daan or mali na imong form ba, dili gyud na mamali gyud ang answer lisod sad. So, makita sad nimo nga ma-plus sad na sa imong YC pagkakuha mo sa general solution. So, to avoid that, dapat mag-assume gyud mo og um, a distinct form sa imong YP. Otherwise, gasayang-sayang lang mong solve, sayang lang mag-differentiate, taas kanyang solution, pero marong radagyapan mo dito sa unahan, di ba? So, make sure na inyo palang assumption sa YP, sakto na mo. Alright, so we already got the value of A, which is 1/2. Ato na dahil na siyang i-substitute dili class. So, A is 1/2. So, pwede na ko mag x squared e to the 5x dira over 2. Okay? That means my y di is the sum of complementary in particular, that is C1 e to the 5x plus C2 e to the 5. Diba? Sa'yo? C2x e to the 5x plus x squared e to the 5x over 2. Okay? So, diba you have different terms sa imuhang general solution. So, that's one way of checking kung medyo sakto ba yung answer. Okay? And then the best way good to check your answer class is to check sa Wolfram Alpha. Kung sakto ba yun ako. That is kung kuan open exam na siya, open book, or gaya mo na mag-assignment, di ba? One way to check your answer. Right na pagaw naman ko. Okay, last example na din. So, kani siya class, para mas daghang exercises, dili na gina ako mahatag po ta ng problem sa kalibutan no nga atong i-solve. I think that would be too boring po. So it's up to you to see chapter 8 sa Rainville for exercises. Napod siya mga answers dira. Nasa siya thorough explanation. Medyo napagaw na ko. Excuse me. So this is our last example. Okay, lahi po siya form. Sige, I think medyo sensor na ni siya. Okay, mga ginawa tagamay ni class. Okay, we solved for YC. Always good si YC unahon class. So, again, let Q of X is equal to 0. Y prime plus 3y prime plus 4y is equal to 0. So, we have a characteristic equation that is m squared minus, diba, new it's it lagi, 3m plus 4 is equal to 0. Now, we cannot find a factor class. A real number, ani. Negative 3 ang middle, 4 ang last term. So, that's difficult. We use quadratic formula. That is negative b plus minus b squared, square root of b squared, minus 4ac over 2a. And so we have negative, atong b is negative 3 plus minus negative 3 squared minus 4 times 1 times 4. Lagadali ka, ma'am. Over 2 times 1. Okay, so we'll get a value of m class that is 3 over 2 plus minus square root of 7 over 2i. Okay, imaginary. So remember, ang sagalin niya siya kung imaginary and conjugate. Precise lang. Okay, what will happen? Kung imaginary conjugate, we should identify the alpha. Yun lang red. Our alpha here, class, is 3 over 2 And then our beta here is square root of 7 over 2. Okay, so that means our YC is e to the alpha x, which is ang alpha is 3 over 2. So, pwede ra 3x over 2 times C1 cosine of beta, which is square root of 7 over 2x plus C2 sine beta, okay, times x. Okay, so this is our y sub c. Complementary. So, okay ra. Okay ra tana. And then next, after YC, solve for YP. So our Q of X class is a quadratic equation. So 7x squared minus 3. Now, tanong sa itong YC, wala tayo kontra no, kaya isa exponential. Ang sasulod sa quantity, cosine, sine, wag tayo problema. So, that means atong YP class, since it is a quadratic form, naka-x squared man siya, that means ang atong ilet nga YC is ax squared, sa kung gayon ganina, plus bx plus c. Okay, and then second order naman gihapon ni, so tama na ta sa second derivative sa yp. So getting the first derivative, lobat na ko. We have 2ax plus b. And then the second derivative is 2a lang. Okay, so medyo sincere na siya class. Okay, we copy the differential equation class. Y double prime minus 3y prime plus 4y is equal to 7x squared minus 3. So substitute the values of the yp and its derivative. That is 2a minus 3, okay, times 2ax plus b plus 4y, or 4 times yp, which is ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay na ka, ma'am. 7x squared minus 3. Okay. So, kanina po class, up to na pong ipantipok ang like terms. Okay, tipok na to tanang x squared, tipok na to tanang x, ay tipok na to tanang constants. Okay, ang tanang x squared class kay kani. Okay, so ato lang na siyang i-rewrite dire. We have 4ax squared. Okay, tanang x kay kani o kani. So, plus lang na to na para masulod na to sa quantity. We have negative 6a. Okay, kay 3 times 2, man na siyang distribute. And then sa second one, kining bx, i-times na to 4. That is 4b. Pagawas na itong x class. Okay? Pagawas gid siya si x. And then, constants. Tipo na ito ng constants. We have 2a here. Kaning b nga ma-times pag negative 3. And then kaning c nga ma-times pag 4. So we have plus 2a. So itong ngayon, minus 3b plus 4c. Tama ba? Yes. Is equal to 7x squared minus 3. Alright. So after which, ato na dahil i-equate yapon. Diba? We have three unknowns, a, b, and c. So we should create 3 equations. Okay, the first equation class is this one. Kining 4a, it should be equal to 7. Kaya mao man na imong x, mao man na imong x squared, coefficients imong x squared. Okay, so we have here 4a must be equal to 7. Okay, actually from there, makasolve na tanong, a should be equal to 7 over 4. And then the second equation class is kani, which is imong coefficient sa x. It must be equal to, actually namo ka dire, again, na kay 0x dire, no, plus 0x. Okay, so that must be equal to 0. Ang negative 6a plus 4b. Kung na ako equal sa na, negative 6a plus 4b must be equal to 0. Okay, and then the third equation will be, kani siya must be equal to your constant, which is your negative 3. Okay, we have negative 2a minus 3b plus 4c is equal to negative 3. Okay, you already got a class. nga 7/4. If you substitute that to your second equation, you can get a value of b that is 21/8. Okay? And then you have the values of a and b. Substitute to the third equation. Ako ra ning gidiretso but for you, I want to see your solution. The value of c will be equal to 11/32. Check lang nyo sa Wolfram Alpha class kung sakto bagya po na akong solution. So, okay, we have already A, B, and C. That means must substitute na nato ang value diri sa YP. So, YP must be equal to, ang A ni mo 7/4, we have 7x squared over 4 plus 21x/8. Muna yung B, 21/8 plus C. So, we have plus 11/32. Okay, we have the YP, we have the YC, meaning we can have the general solution. And that is your YC plus YP. So, ako lang i-rewrite e to the 3x/2 times C1 cosine of square root over 7/2 plus C2 sine of square root over 7/2. Square root of 7/2, yes. X, hindi mo tayo sa X. Di kalimta ng X, ha? Plus the particular solution that is 7x squared over 4 plus 21x/8. Katulad ko naman ko plus 11/32. Okay, we have come to the end of our lecture. No. Ba yan? Okay, class. So, this is now our general solution. Actually, attach lang ako ang kato naka-PDF file na ako nga mas limpyo class kay kapoy na mong ko ni basin di na kay siya maklaro. Pero anyways, ako lang gyapon ning i-add siguro. Okay, so this is now that's the end of our lecture. So, again, see chapter 8 of Rainville for exercises. And other resources actually class, everything is available to you. So, please solve different kinds, especially ka ng mga different forms of Q of X ha, kung ayun na magka-limit ani, nag-example naman ta ani, ayun na sad mag-solve nga parehas ani, pag solve mo another, o pwede mo mag-solve isa-isa sa one problem per kanang example na ako nga form, and then solve another form, no, based ani nga table. Okay, and then i-check din nyo sa Wolfram Alpha kung makakuha mo the same answer. Kaya kung dili, pangitaan ninyo sa ang mali anang part sa inyong solution. Okay? So that's it for the non-homogeneous linear DE with constant coefficients. Again, magamit ninyo ang pag-solve sa YC, no, for the homogeneous. So that's it. We'll see each other next week. We'll have a quiz, and then a week after that, we'll have the variation of parameters. And I think I'll be giving you a take-home quiz lang para medyo mas makabawi pag yun mo. And then after that, we're gonna discuss Laplace transform. I think madugo na dyan yung labanan class. So, study, solve, and pray to the Lord. So, yeah, sorry for my voice, but that's it for today's video. Bye.